You're listening to Retirement Results. And now, back to the show.
And welcome back to Retirement Results. I'm Ford Stokes, your Chief Financial Advisor. I've got Sam Davis here with us, but we are super honored and privileged to have Bonnie Dobbs with Medicare and Other Red Tape. She actually sits on the Council for Aging with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. She's also written an article that's going to come out in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution this Sunday regarding Medicare. First of all, Bonnie Dobbs, welcome back to Retirement Results.
Thank you. And thank you, Ford, for having me on today.
Oh, you bet. So, Bonnie, we love you. You're a client of Active Wealth Management. You're one of my clients. We're thrilled to have you. We've also been so great. We've partnered with you now for over 4 years with Medicare and Other Red Tape. You're also licensed in multiple states. We are now airing in 8 states on 21 radio stations. So we want to do everything we can to make sure that we get everybody educated in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, you name it, the New England states. We want to make sure everybody understands what's going on with Medicare right now. And there's 2 really big changes. We were talking at the break that you wanted to make sure you shared with our radio listeners. If you could share the 2 changes regarding the annual enrollment period with Medicare that so many people need to know about this year.
Yes. So the first thing is the Part D, the drug plans. Okay. I'll tell you the good news first, and then I'll tell you the bad news second. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we'll go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good news is because of the Inflation Reduction Act, the most you'll pay out of pocket for 2025 is $2,000. Okay. This year you could pay up to $8,000. So paying $2,000 max out of pocket next year, that is like music to some people's ears. Because in the past, medications just cost so much money that it just burns a hole in your wallet. So that is the good news, okay? The other thing about drug plans is every year in the past, when you go get your first fill, if you have a tier 3, 4, or 5, you usually have a nasty deductible. This year, that deductible is $545. Next year, that deductible is going up to $590, okay? Instead of having to pay the deductible or the full cost of your drug till you meet the deductible before you start paying your tier cost, starting in 2025, they're going to allow you to make monthly payments. So what that's going to look like is they will add up your premiums, your deductibles, your co-pays, the total, divide it by 12, and then it will be so much easier to make a monthly payment spread over the year rather than the first time you go get your fill, you have to pay that $590 deductible. Okay. So that's all really good news. Okay. So $2,000 maximum out of pocket. You can go on a monthly payment plan spread over 12 months. Now, not everybody's going to hear this and know this information in January. So you can start monthly payments any month that you wish. Okay. So all of that is really good news. I'm happy about that. Now let's talk about the not so good news. So remember I said this year you could pay up to $8,000 out of pocket for your meds, and they're going down to $2,000 next year, maximum out of pocket. So somebody somewhere is going to get cut short or something's going to have to go up drastically. So what they've done is, of course, some of the plan premiums are going to increase. Some of the formularies, the medications, copay may increase. But the big thing, and this is going to blow your mind, agents can no longer write drug plans.
Wow.
I know.
That makes it really
Agents,
tough on the person, on the actual individual client.
this is going to create a nightmare. So we don't even have access to all the drug plans to
So
write.
you don't do Part D plans anymore, Bonnie?
Starting now for 2025, agents do not have access to all the plans that are available. These insurance companies are taking them in-house. So you're going to have to go to Medicare.gov and find out which plans and enroll yourself. That is such a huge, huge undertaking, because we're talking about a population that some people just didn't catch on to the tech because they were too old whenever, Facebook and emails and people really started using computers. So some people don't have a computer. They don't have an email. They don't, even if they had a computer, they don't know how to navigate it. They don't even know how to get to Medicare.gov. So I feel sorry for people who are in nursing homes. I feel sorry for people that are just old enough that they kind of missed that technology. Yeah, the entrance to like basic technology. This is going to cause a nightmare for the federal government. I don't know how they expect this to work.
Yeah. So Bonnie, quick question, because this is shocking news, and it's the first time I've heard this. So that we've heard it here on the Retirement Results Show, and I'm so glad to have you here to help us wade through this. So quick question: if somebody already has a Medicare Part D plan from last year or 2 years ago, their plan will continue. Is that right?
Yes. So every year, and I'm glad you brought that up, by the way, every year during the month of September, you get something in the mail called annual notice of coverage. Annual notice of changes. Okay. And so what that does is it compares the plan that you're currently on with what the plan's going to look like next year if you don't change plans. And what it does is it goes down line item by line item, starting at the premium, if there is one, deductibles, co-pays, and so you can see firsthand what next year is going to look like. So if you do nothing, your plan will just roll over. Okay. Now, many of the people that I put on plans, they're usually good for 2 or 3 years. If their needs don't change, if their medications don't change, if they don't move, okay, there's lots of situations that are going to arise when you have to change plans. But if you got your annual notice of coverage and you're good to go with that, and your prices are not going to increase, or your deductibles or co-pays aren't going to increase so much, or your monthly premium, then do nothing and you can just stay on your plan. But for all of those that they're like, I did a seminar yesterday, and there was this lady telling me she's had a zero copay and now it's going up to $82 a month. So people like that need to check out their options. And so they're going to have to go. They've turned a Part D plan into a do-it-yourselfer, a DIU. So it's going to cause a nightmare. And agents, we are extremely unhappy because out of everything, the drug plans every year are the most complicated things to research and to find out. I mean, I have enrolled professors at colleges, and they tell me I've made charts and graphs and I can't understand anything about this Part D. So, I mean, I'm very sad that this is happening to seniors in America.
I totally get that. The other thing that's, obviously for people, if you go into, let's say you stay in a drug plan for 5, 7, 10 years, and all of a sudden the aging population within your drug plan keeps getting older and there's more utilization, the cost of your drug plan is going to go up. And so you really do need to move every couple of years. To your point. And that's a real concern for people that have been around a long time, that have been in a drug plan. And so they're going to be paying more for their drug plans than they really should. Number two, another concern that I have is for people that are 61, 62, 63, 64, 65 years old, and they're just dealing with drug plans for the very first time as they're getting ready to plan for Medicare, or they are enrolling in Medicare. That's an even bigger concern because you've never done it before. And so they've got to go to Medicare.gov based on what you're saying and figure it out themselves. What do people need to do to plan and to get started with Medicare? When should they talk to their financial advisor to get going with that? And the next thing is, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, there's another thing that's going on with Medicare we didn't go over. So let me go over that really quick, and then I'll answer your question on that. So for all the people that are on Medicare Advantage plans, many of the companies are exiting the current plans that they have. So all of these people, if your plan is going to be terminated at the end of the year, you're going to have to enroll in a new plan. So during annual enrollment, that is your time to compare all the other plans and change, because with your Advantage plan, it won't just roll over if you have received a termination letter. Okay. So that's important for people who are on Medicare Advantage plans. Many of them are being terminated. And then to answer your question, people that are soon going to become Medicare eligible in the next few years, they really need to talk to their financial advisor, because there's something called IRMA, and IRMA is income related monthly adjustment amount. And so if you make up to a certain level of income, you will pay what the average American does for their Part B and Part D. But if you exceed those thresholds, and I'm happy when people do, that means they are successful, they have planned for their retirement, you will have to pay more. So working with a financial advisor, that you can, they can allocate money in different ways, so you're not showing all of this income to reduce your IRMA cost each year. So it's really important that they talk to you or talk to their financial advisor about that. And you have to plan this several years in advance, because there's always a 2-year look back. Well, you want to start talking to somebody before that 2 years, because you've got to get yourself positioned correctly so you don't have to pay that additional.
Gotcha. So Bonnie, can you just share how people get in touch with you? Because listen, I learned the Dewey Decimal System a long time ago, but I'd much rather ask the librarian. So how do they get in touch with you to navigate all this stuff?
They can call me at 770-373-7541. You can go to my website and also send a request, and we can contact you.
And your website is medicareandotherredtape.com. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So medicareandotherredtape.com, folks, make sure you check that out. Reach out to Bonnie Dobbs. Also, check out her new article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution on AJC.com on Sunday. And we're also going to put the link to that article, the longer article on this podcast. So you can go to retirementresults.com, go to the episode section. You'll see all of that. We're going to share it on social media. And I think Bonnie's going to share it on her social media as well.
Yes.
Bonnie Dobbs, thanks so much for being with us here on Retirement Results. We love you. It's great to have you here helping us navigate these new big changes with Medicare. Wow, what a big change that agents are no longer able to do Medicare Part D drug plans. That is something unbelievable. We broke news here, folks, on Retirement Results. And Bonnie, it's just great to have you with us. I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you, Ford. I love you, and thank you for all you do for all of your clients. You help save us money also, and you help us enjoy our retirement. So have a great day, and thanks again, guys.
You too, Bonnie. All the best. Just a big thanks to Bonnie Dobbs for giving us incredible information and breaking news here on the Retirement Results Show, that now Medicare Part D drug plans are now only offered through Medicare.gov, and agents aren't allowed to sell Medicare drug plans anymore. That is a shocking revelation. So they can't get agents helping you get your drugs on formulary, making sure that, you know, you're in network with your pharmacy and all that stuff for your pharmaceutical drug needs. That is a remarkable change. Wow. That is something else.
Miss part of today's show? Retirement Results is available wherever you listen to podcasts and online at retirementresults.com.